Okay, so I'm Kimberly Ripley, and I'm doing a video tutorial on how to work with this kind of sparse brow. Not very much there to work with, and trying to make a power brow. I'm going to be using Gobi Sands and then the eyeshadow transformer to kind of make like a pomade. And so what I like to do first, I like to use the really thin Aveda brush. As you can see, it's really fine. I just get it wet and then I pinch it. That way it's super duper fine. And then this eyebrow's a little weird, so I like to brush it down. And then this one's a little weird and it likes to go up. And so I just brush them all the way up. And this one all the way down. And then I kind of take it under there and just kind of sculpt the hairs back into place. Just to give me a guideline. And then I take a small amount of the pomade I made. And you want to make sure there isn't too much of it on the sides of the brush and more concentrated on the very end of it. And so I don't like to start over here because I don't know how far I want them to go in until I've already got it going. So I kind of like to start in the middle. And I just follow until I get to right there.
Like, it's still on your late day.
And I just like to get a little more. And just following the bottom of my eyebrow. I don't like to make the tail just because I don't know where it's going to go until I get the top of my brow. So the hard part is making this look like a lot of hair, and I don't really have much hair right here. As you can see, it kind of just like whoop and goes straight down. So you don't want that. They shouldn't get thicker or thinner as you go. They should just stay the same as far as here to here. Then they kind of taper. So then I like to just go somewhere in the middle of my eyebrow. Just start making little marks. And it's very important that you don't go too far in with most of the pomade because you don't want it to be too dark. I like them to kind of fade from the inside and go darker. So, and I just start filling it in. This part's the easiest part where I have the most hair, so that's what I use as my guideline. And then I kind of just go whoop, just follow that line until it starts to look right. And I like to fill that in. Okay. And in between each time, I like to wipe off my brush with like a wet wipe or a wet paper towel just so it doesn't get too built up, because if the brush doesn't stay super fine, it'll start to catch on to the hairs underneath if you haven't tweezed in a while. And it can start to look really messy, and I like them to look very sharp and defined. So just get a little more. And so now I need to make that kind of just like shaped curve. I just follow that and I kind of just a little down. This you want to be curved. So after you kind of get around the curve, then I just go straight as a line.
Oh my god, you were so now.
If there's any pieces I don't like that kind of get down here, if I can't get it off with a spoolie, I like to take a concealer brush, my Aveda concealer brush, and I like to smush it down. That way it's super flat, as you can see. And then I have my Aveda concealer in the lightest shade. And I like to just kind of put some on there, wipe the excess off. And I just follow the line just to kind of clean it up. And then, so I follow the line, and then that way I don't have just like a line of concealer. I like to just kind of like blend it down. And this is why it's best to do your eyebrows for your eyeshadow. Okay. And then because I have really light brows, you can kind of see where the hair starts to stop. So I put a lot of product here in the corner where I'm missing the most hair, just so you can't, like, most people would just do like little feather marks, but I literally don't have hair there, so I just cover it entirely, or else you'll be able to see the line of demarcation between where the hair stops and then it's just eyebrow stuff. And so, as you can see, I kind of went out of the line where I wanted to. So I'm going to get a little more concealer. Just follow it. And then I like to blend down. And then, just because you can see like the harsh line, I like to brush them out. You might end up having to put some more on there. It's a process. Then I take some of the powder just by itself with no transformer, just so, like, as you can see, this part right here, every time I go over it now, it wants to wipe it off. So if you put some powder on there, kind of sets what you did. And then when you go back over it with some more pomade, it'll then, it just sticks. It won't wipe off as easily. And see, now you can see I'm getting that opaqueness that I wanted. So hard to do this in an iPad camera than it is using a real mirror. And see, if you're me, you might go over your eyebrow pomade. That's okay, you can always put more. That's the great thing about it, is it's very buildable if you keep working at it. And see, if you don't clean your brush off, it can get kind of messy. So that's why I like to keep cleaning it off, making it super sharp and flat again. Get a little more. And it's kind of hard to see. I'm going to use a mirror really quick. I'm just following the lines I made. It's basically just a lot of cleaning up. Normally it doesn't take me this long because I can do it in a mirror. But really, clean up with a concealer can save any eyebrow. I just like to blend this out a little more. And the farther, because I have hair here, so the farther out I go, the lighter I am with the spoolie. because remember, I like them to go from light to dark. So at this, you want to push harder to blend it out than you would with this. This, what I'm doing is I'm kind of just making like mock hair strokes in my eyebrow, or the pomade actually, because the spoolie scratches it out a little bit, so it starts to look like little hair marks. So that's how I fool everybody that I have eyebrows. And you might have to do some cleanup above.
Here we go.
Okay, and so pretty happy with that. I'm just gonna leave it now. Now for this part, it can be kind of tricky. You don't want to go too far. It should never be past here, like at all, ever. You want it to kind of line up with where your eye stops. And I kind of just, I haven't put any more product on here, so it's just kind of whatever's left over. Just follow that line. Just kind of do some little strokes just to bring it inward. That way it doesn't look like no eyebrow and then suddenly an eyebrow is appearing. That's probably the most important part if you like it to be, because see, look, if you like it to fade, like see how there's that harsh line right there where I stop? That's what you really have to work at to make sure it's not there, because that can throw everything off. There we go. And just keep going until you like it. So here's one side, here's the other side. Again, that was with Adobe Sans eyeshadow from Aveda, and then the eyeshadow transformer, and then the lightest shade of Aveda concealer. And then my two brushes I used were these.